everyone. Good morning. This is Sage, live from Kalkine Studios, and you are watching the early trades. While recovery expectations have taken a back seat, inflation concerns and fear of a hike in interest rates are likely to continue to linger this week. Investors will keep a close eye on the Reserve Bank of Australia's minutes for its May meeting on Tuesday, which would reveal policymakers' intention regarding future rate hikes. The ongoing political and trade tensions between Australia and China and the deteriorating situation in the Middle East will also have impact on equity and commodity markets today. The Australian stock market started weak on a positive note, tracking a strong finish on Wall Street on Friday, and the benchmark S&P ASX 200 rises 24 points or 0.34% to 7,038.20 in the early trade, led by gains in consumer discretionary and energy stock. Among individual stocks, Viva Energy Group Limited, Aristocrat Leisure Limited, Ampol Limited, Mesoblast Limited, and Ramelius Resources Limited are among the top 5 gainers on the ASX. The bearish trend in the last few sessions has provided buying opportunities for investors who are willing to take a chance on beaten down shares, and last week the market suffered one of its biggest loss in months as inflation fears and weak cues from global equities dented market sentiments. The benchmark ASX 200 posted a loss of 0.94%, its biggest weekly fall since 26 February 2021. Shares of mining companies will be in focus today as China has vowed to impose a ban on importing Australian coal amid ongoing political disputes between the two countries. The political feud between China and Australia has already resulted in various unofficial bans and tariff actions against Australian commodities such as coal, barley, copper ores as well. And now let's hear more on the global markets. Overseas, the US stocks rallied on Friday as a weaker than expected April retail sales data underscored a booming economy, which has been marked by looming inflation fears. The S&P 500 gained 1.49%, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 1.06%. The tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite surged 2.32%. Asian stocks are expected to trade higher today, tracking firm cues from the US market as risk appetite was aided by recent macro data, which indicated that the world economy is recovering from COVID-19's pandemic. New Zealand's benchmark S&P NZX 50 is trading higher by 0.39%, while Japan's Nikkei 225 falls by 0.4%. On the pandemic front, the curve has started to flatten with drops in daily new COVID-19 cases. The stringent lockdown measures and acceleration in vaccination drives have led to improvements in the COVID situation in India, the worst affected country with the highest number of infections. And now, let's look at the shares in the news. The first news is shares of Antipa Minerals Limited rose 4.878% to 0.043 Australian dollars after the company reported a 62% rise in the Calibre deposit's mineral resources to 2.1 million ounces of gold. The Calibre deposit is located 45 kilometres east of Rio Tinto's Waihi copper-gold silver deposit on the Citadel joint venture project, which is 65% owned by the company's joint venture partner, Rio Tinto Exploration Pty Limited, with Antipa holding 35%. And moving on, AVZ Minerals Limited has informed Exchange that its majority-owned DRC company, Dathcom Mining SA has lodged all documents required in support of its mining licence application for the Manono lithium and tin project, and the share price of the stock AVZ was quoted 6.896%, higher at 0.155 Australian dollars per share. And next up, the share price of Resonance Health Limited climbed 5.405% to 0.195 Australian dollars after the company achieved positive data on ASO R&D project to support further progress. RHT has concluded lead optimization and early preclinical testing of ASO compounds over the past year. These were aimed at testing of ASO compounds targeting a human protein vital to the life cycle of several human viruses involving the hepatitis B virus. And the company looks forward to extending its antiviral testing program to include other important viral diseases based on the positive data received and commercial possibility of the technology. And next up, casino player Crown Resorts has rejected Blackstone's bid on advice of its financial and legal advisors. The board said Blackstone's $12.35 Australian dollar revised proposal undervalued the company and has unanimously concluded it is not in the best interest of Crown's shareholders. And moving on, Australian gambling machine manufacturer Aristocrat Leisure announced a statutory net profit after tax of 346 million Australian dollars for the 6 months ended 31st March 2021. The normalised net profit after tax and before amortisation of acquired intangibles was 412 million Australian dollars, up 12% from the same period a year ago. Let's look at the commodity markets. Oil prices rebounded on Friday as major US fuel pipeline restarted, while the coronavirus situation in major oil consumer India capped the day's gain, and Brent crude climbed 2.5% to $68.70 US a barrel, and US West Texas Intermediate WTI crude rose by 2.4% to US $65.36 a barrel. Australian energy players such as Origin Energy Limited and Woodside Petroleum Limited are trading higher, while Santos Limited trades lower with marginal losses. The spot gold price rose 0.9% to $1,843 US dollars an ounce as corrections in the US dollar and Treasury yields added to the appeal of non-yielding bullion. Tracking gains in gold prices, the Australian gold miners, such as De Grey Mining Limited, Newcrest Mining Limited and Northern Star Resources Limited, trade higher, rising between 2 to 5%. Let's now move on. Investors will be keeping a keen eye on the macroeconomic data slated to be released this week, which will have impacts on the market. The minutes of the Reserve Bank of Australia meetings, a detail about policy discussion and members' views on the economy will be published on Tuesday. And the minutes of the May 4th meeting will reveal whether members of the committee are hawkish about the inflationary outlook and their intentions regarding future rate hikes. The Wage Price Index, an indicator of labour cost inflation and of the tightness of labour markets, will be released by the Australian Bureau of Statistics on Wednesday. The consumer inflation expectation data will be out on Thursday, which will give some clues related to future inflation during the next 12 months. The higher reading will present a case for rate hikes by the RBA. Data on part-time and full-time employment will also be released on Thursday. The job market scenario has improved in recent months, but it still remained below pre-COVID levels. The Commonwealth Bank PMI data on services, manufacturing and composite will be released on Thursday as well, and these key economic indicators gauge the condition of Australian services and manufacturing sectors. Data on retail sales will be released by the Australian Bureau of Statistics on Friday. And now let's look at this update on IPO listings. This week we'll see surges in initial public offerings or IPOs, listed as 3 companies are expected to make stock market debuts. While hearing tech company Ordera will be listed on Tuesday, Lithium Energy on Wednesday, and Flynn Gold on Thursday. Last week, iron ore producer Juno Minerals, pathology provider Australian Clinical Labs, gold miner Australasian Gold, and building analytics company EP&T Global debuted on the ASX. And now let's look at this special report on the cryptocurrency market. Bitcoin, Ether extends fall, and billionaire Elon Musk on Sunday night hinted that Tesla Inc. might have dumped its holdings in the world's largest cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. This triggered a 12% crash in Bitcoin prices from the 24-hour high. Musk's one-word reply, indeed, to a tweet from someone with Twitter handle Crypto Whale was enough to have dented Bitcoin's price. Bitcoiners are going to slap themselves next quarter when they find out Tesla dumped the rest of their holdings, with the amount of hate at Elon Musk is getting. I wouldn't blame him, the Twitter user said. After the tweet by Mr. Musk, the prices of Bitcoin tumbled to $43,837 and 43 11.99% down from the 24-hour high of $49,814 and 1 cent. However, it erased part of its losses later on and is currently trading down by 1.89%. Musk's latest tweet comes as another blow for Bitcoin after last week, when he had said that Tesla would not be accepting Bitcoin payments for vehicle purchases anymore, over the concerns of rapidly increasing use of fossil fuels for Bitcoin mining, in his own words. In a regulatory filing in February, Tesla has said that it has bought about $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. The company, in its quarterly results later, said that it registered a net gain of $101 million from sales of Bitcoin, a move which has aided the company's record profits in the March quarter. Mr. Musk has been a strong votary of the digital assets and had earlier been regularly tweeting praises about digital assets. His tweets were partially responsible for the surge in cryptocurrency prices. However, in the past few weeks, he has been making confusing comments. A couple of weeks ago, he was recalled saying Dogecoin rally a hustle, which sent headwinds into the meme-turned cryptocurrency market. And meanwhile, most of the cryptocurrencies at the time of filing this copy were trading in the red. In more detail, the cryptocurrency market, the major digital coins are Bitcoin and Ether, are trading in the red as reports of a regulatory probe into crypto exchange Binance and Tesla's U-turn on accepting the token as payment due to environmental concerns have shaken the confidence of the crypto bulls. Bitcoin price dropped to hit a low of $43,837.43 in the last 24 hours before recovering to $45,983.02, down 3.63%. In line with larger sibling Bitcoin, Ether is also in the red, quoting at $3,527.69, down 6.88% in the past 24 hours. According to CoinDesk 20, Dogecoin price fell as well by 2.41% to $0.508. Thanks for your time watching, and that is all for now. Keep watching Kalkine TV as we bring you the latest news and trending market updates live from Sydney. This is Sage signing off.